All right, Chef Randy Z is with us. He is the founder of Cultivate Culinary School and Catering, powerful organization here in our local area that is helping young people get skilled in the art and the culinary arts and find some great careers. But today, Easter right around the corner, Randy, and we're talking about some delectable and delicious ham.
Yes, we are. We've got 4 hams here. The one I couldn't bring is a favorite, but it's not available up here. It's more down south.
Live on the pig?
Well, that's a little too fresh for me for the show. I only got 10 minutes.
So what's the southern?
The southern one would be the salt cured, where it's hung. It's basically mummified. That one you would have to wash off and put it in a cooler full of water and change the water every day for a couple days to rehydrate it. Yeah, it's a old-fashioned way. But back in the day, that other than smoking, that was about the only way to preserve
without refrigeration.
Exactly. So that one is not on the table. But these are the 4 common ones that are in our area and most recognized. First off, this is just a boneless. You can see there's little marks on the back where it was sitting on the rack and very lightly smoked.
Okay, just like you find a deli counter.
Yeah, and that is not where I want to go. That's fine. I mean, if people like that, but that's basically, to me, is just deli ham.
Right.
Obviously, it's formed and pressed, and how that's being stuck together and stay that way, I really don't want to know. I'm more natural, and when I come to that thing. And so then you go to a big favorite is a spiral.
The spiral cut.
Not a favorite of mine. This is the shank portion. Okay. As you see, it's already fallen apart, and the reason I don't care for spiral cut is it's been sitting here unpackaged for about 5 minutes. You see all that liquid?
You're losing all
so
of
you're losing all that
moisture.
And then as it's falling apart, as it's cooking, it's drying out in the middle.
Yeah.
And then it comes with a glaze package, which I don't care for those glaze packages because there's some things in it that aren't as natural.
Some chemicals in there and artificial flavorings and whatnot. Yeah.
Yep. So I have my own that we're going to make today. This is very popular, but as a lot of people say, it will dry out. Now the shank cut itself, unspiral cut, is a favorite of mine. I like the flavor in it more because of the bone.
The bone, you've got your
And then
bone.
next we have the butt part, the top.
Right.
This one here is unspiral cut.
Right.
Okay, so if you would take these two and put them together,
you
have my
right
favorite ham right here.
Right.
Okay, so this one is great. I like that. It's okay. This is, I believe, has more flavor.
Right.
This is what you see when you see a ham steak in a grocery store.
Okay.
They'll just cut it all the way, and you always have your little round bone there, and that's your ham steak. Okay, and this one here, for fat content and all, as you turn around, you see just a little ring.
Right.
Okay, so you know it's not going to dry out too much, but this is definitely going to dry out.
Yeah, that really doesn't have that ring of fat around it
No,
much
and
at all.
you know, I pick it up.
Just a
Look,
little
it's
bit.
just falling apart. Okay, so just imagine how dry that's going to get. You can wrap it in foil, and I mean, I have actually cooked this spiral cut ham in the package that it comes in. I'm sure the manufacturer wouldn't like that, but at a really low temperatures to try to keep it moist. And it still ends up getting dry. And this is the one that people like because when they make their glaze packet, they think they're going to pour it in there and get all that all down in there and everything. But the problem is the meat itself is basically seared shut or cooked shut to where it's not penetrating like you would soak something into it, which is a problem.
Here we've got just a full smoked.
This one here, we have our old-fashioned, back in the old day, no messing around, chemical, nothing, just good old-fashioned. Hang it and smoke it. Bone in, that is my favorite one. That is exactly what I make all the time.
What are the cost
here.
differences for these different areas of processing?
This is very surprising. $3.50 a pound for this. Okay, and
that's a bit up there.
But then again, if you go to the deli counter and get deli ham, it's $5+ a pound.
Right.
This one here was, I had to put it down here so I wouldn't forget. This one here was that was the $3.50. This one here was the $1.69. Okay, and this one was only $1.09.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you're paying more for the spiral cut.
Right.
Okay, and this one, the big, juicy, great one, was only $2 a pound.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know you're going to buy what you can afford, and you're going to get what you know how to cook. But I'm just giving ideas. I mean, I could do a ham show once a week for the rest of the year, and I'll never run out of recipes. It's just personal preference. Okay, so some things that people like to do is take their ham and punch a bunch of whole cloves in it.
Right. I've seen that. Yeah.
Well, it's been smoked, so you're not going to get a lot of clove penetration into the ham. It's going to be very aromatic in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But and cloves are expensive. It's really not doing anything. And I'm sure I will offend someone out there about my opinions, but it's just my opinion. That's why Culinary's opinions and taste. So the other tool you can use here is, of course, a clean
box cutter,
box
utility
cutter.
knife.
Just put it out to the first click, and then you can, which people like to do, come here and cross
kinda
diamond hash.
Score your...
And this will control the depth so you don't
that's
cut
a
too
great
far
idea.
into the meat.
That's
okay?
a good idea.
And then they like to cut that and then rub it, you know, sugar, brown sugar, mustards, whatever, and rub it and then bake it. I don't like to do that myself because when I'm cutting into that, I'm taking the fat out of it, and I need some of that fat to hang on and to soak and keep that
into the meat.
Keep that in there, okay? So on this one, I'll pull it over here because we're gonna get it in a roasting pan. So on my favorite one here, you have your one side here that's basically has no fat. You turn your over, and here's all your skin. You can see about how thick that is right there. Okay. All right. Now, even like with pork butts, here's a ham. Do you go fat up or do you go fat down?
Right.
Okay, so it's like a turkey.
Like a
turkey
turkey.
breast
Breast
up,
up or
turkey
breast
breast
down.
down. Okay, me, I like in the ham, fat up, because as this fat renders out, it's going to roll down the ham and kind of baste it. Yeah, baste it as you go. Now with these hams, people like to baste them, especially if they you diamond cut them. They'll like to come in and maybe use Dr. Pepper or, you know, ginger ale or anything, and then they're constantly open in the oven, basting it the whole time, and it's going to take you longer to cook it. So this one here, what we would do is we would take this, I'm going to leave it alone because natural to me is all the flavors here.
You want to taste the ham.
I want to taste the ham.
Coke.
You go to a nice steak place, would you like some steak? Yes, I want a steak. Would you like some steak sauce? Oh, gee, I hope not, you know, because I want to taste it. So all we do with this one is super simple. Nobody's going to
roasting pan.
Nobody's going to learn a lot.
Put any water in the pan or
nope?
No.
And it's in the oven. Okay. So we're going in the oven. Excuse me.
No spices or nothing.
425 for 30 minutes.
Oh. Okay.
Then we're going to turn it down.
Kind of warming it up a bit.
We're trying to just wake up all them fats and sear a little on the outer part of the meat. And then we turn it down 275 and cook it for 5 to 7 hours.
Wow.
Okay, now you're going to run out of oven space. You're going to panic and all this. When we pull this out of the oven, when it's done, let me get my foil. Excuse me for turning my back to you. Lightly, loosely cover. And let rest for a half an hour. Now, while that's resting,
about a 5.5-hour process there.
5 to 7, depending on your oven. Here we got a 1/4 cup of honey. I'm making my own.
For a glaze or?
Now, I don't glaze the outside of the ham because it's just going to roll off. Okay, so I like to have it set on the side in a bowl for everybody to glaze themselves.
So you can, as it cools, it'll thicken up a bit.
1/4 cup of honey, 1/4 cup of maple syrup. Okay, a
1/4 cup of honey, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and brown sugar.
Brown sugar, a third.
So that's your sweet.
Ginger, ground ginger, 1 teaspoon. And then mustard powder, 1.5 teaspoons.
Spice there.
And then some cinnamon, very strong, because it's fresh grated, so only a 1/2 teaspoon. And then we have a little bit of Jamaican allspice, a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, and we're going to just get that to melt, whisk that down.
Get that.
And if it's too thick, here's your water. You just thin it out with some water. Okay, so just get that going. Now in these packets, all you do is the same thing, but you just add like 2 tablespoons of water.
Right, but the packets have different kinds of preservatives and artificial flavors and whatnot in there too.
Yep, so you want to bring this up to a boil, light boil.
Right, we're going to bring Bob in. Now, this is funny because before we started the program today, Bob's doing the world news today, as we know. He was rattling off all kinds of facts about the ham, and you're a real ham expert, aren't you?
Well, being a ham, it's not hard to do that, as we were admitting to before the show.
Know your craft.
It's, it's really terrific, and what Randy doesn't include in the recipe is that you're going to have family around these hams. It's going to be a great celebration for Easter.
Okay, so because I can't cook a 27-pound ham in 10 minutes,
good effort.
It done from the one I did 2 days ago, and here's some ham.
Now that's a lot different looking than what you see with the other hams when you cook them.
We'll uncover this, and I slice parallel to the bone. I don't go this way, I go this way.
Okay.
With the bone.
With the bone.
With the bone.
Like a prosciutto.
Okay, and then what you're going to end up when you're all done is you're going to end up with that.
Your big ham bone, which is great for...
that soup. That's another show.
Yeah.
Okay.
For your bean soup, pea soup.
As you get it, you pass around the bowl and you can glaze, and now you get the glazed flavor without it burning on the ham, and then you can still taste the ham. And there's forks and knives right there. Don't burn your mouth.
I'm thinking you've done this before, Randy.
No, I just
yeah.
made it up this morning.
Hey,
Let
Chuck,
me get Bob in there.
Chuck Freebie said if I came in and did the news, I'd get rewarded.
And here it
There you
is.
go.
And here it is, a little piece of ham. Thank you.
You bet. Don't
Looks
get it on
great.
your suit. I don't
All
pay
right.
for cleaning. There's a knife. Use table manners now.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, once, if the family doesn't finish the ham,
Oh, it'll freeze great.
it'll freeze great and
Yep.
stay in your fridge for quite a while, too,
Yep,
right?
stay in the fridge. I don't go past 7 days with anything after it's cooked the first time. So it's good. I mean, that's a big ham, but you know, as much as I love eating the ham, making the soup's just as good for me.
I love it.
Sandwiches on Monday,
Oh yeah.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Wow,
The
that-
glaze is definitely special. Well, thank you so much, Randy, for joining
Thank
us
you.
here at Harvest Today. This recipe, you'll find it on our Facebook page, and we want you to connect with us on Facebook, and you can connect and see all kinds of good stuff there. Listen, we've got Brian Bush coming up with the latest news from Israel, but up next, Pastor Mark Lance with today's teaching. We'll be right back.